Welcome filmmakers, fans, and friends to Indie Cinema Showcase, your #1 source for filmmaking, conventions, and everything in between. I'm Christina Carmona.
And I'm Nando Roman. Together we'll be bringing you the best and brightest that Florida has to offer with a focus on Central Florida.
In today's episode, we'll be speaking with actress Alana Phillips and checking out a new film called Unperfect by writer and director Chris Ballinger.
We'll also revisit some of our past events and check out what films you should see before you die.
All right, let's get things started with our Shorts to Shorts film, Unperfect by Chris Ballinger.
Hey, Tubby! You got up the courage to come out into the real world today.
Well, I specialize in the science of spill cleanup.
I specialize in spill cleanup.
Hey! Leave him alone.
Oh, come on. We were just having some fun.
You get lost. You get back to work, or you can find another job. Whatever. Hey, come with me. Just leave this.
Fine, lima beans, all right?
I don't care what kind of beans you want. I ain't eating this shit.
You cannot talk to me this way.
I will talk in whatever way I want.
Done.
Stanley.
Out of my way. Just
Stanley.
I'm the one who works around here. What the hell do you do?
I take care of him all day while you're off God knows where.
Well, and look how well that's turned out. This is all your fault.
I'm home.
And in our top story today, police are asking for your help in a string of missing person cases. 3 women in their 30s have gone missing the last few weeks. Please contact the
What took you so long?
I made you dinner.
Did you remember to stir it and microwave it another 30 seconds?
Please stop telling me what to do.
Stanley, you can't be my son if you can't use a microwave.
I did it right.
It's cold.
Hi, Stanley. Can I sit with you? What you doing?
Sewing. It calms me.
What's this?
Nothing.
Doesn't look like nothing. What happened to it?
The guys stomped it. Couldn't save it.
I'm going to talk to them.
No, don't. It's stupid.
It's not. It's important to you. I have an idea. I'm in school for nursing.
My mother was a nurse. She used to put Band-Aids on me when I was hurt.
That's sweet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I take your picture?
Sure.
you're down there playing with dolls, I will kill you. Dad? Leave me alone!
How long you been out?
There's nothing wrong with me.
How long?
I don't know. A month?
A month.
You're just like your father.
You ready for your cleansing?
Come on.
Come on! Stanley, you have to interact with normal people. Father Gabriel will
I
help.
have to keep sewing. It's gonna get cold soon.
Stanley Baxter, get in there now! No!
Stanley, are you okay? I got them.
Miss Alice, it is my job, you know.
Yes, I remember.
Be careful going in there.
The church?
There's bad in there.
You're so funny, Stanley. Are you seeing anyone yet?
No. It's never worked out.
It's not good to be alone. My Henry, he took a lot of work. I had to build him from the ground up.
Stanley Baxter.
I knew you were up to something.
Shut up, Dad.
Get out of here!
Stanley, please let me go. Stanley, please let me go. I'm your friend. Stanley, I'll help you. What do you need? Please let me go. Stanley, please let me go. I'm your friend. Please let me go. Please let me go. Stanley, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
No.
I've got you.
No.
Our next guest was born and raised in Florida and is a two-time award-winning actress and editor. For 5 years, she entertained audiences with her improv comedy and gun-spinning skills. From 2016 to 2018, she co-hosted a talk show with Madhouse TV in New York, and in 2015 joined the Central Florida Film Festival in Mount Dora, where she continues to host. So for today's Industry Insight, we sit down with Alana Phillips. Hey everyone, in the studio today we have with us the multi-talented Alana Phillips. Alana, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This
nice
is
having
wonderful.
you here. So let's get right into it. Tell us a little bit about your background in acting.
I have been acting professionally in film and theater for 10 years now. When I started film school in California, my college cut my film program. It's a really long story. And I was in the Bay Area living with family. And my mother lives in the Reno, Tahoe area in Nevada. And she was like, well, come over here, get an apartment, figure out what you're going to do next, which college you're going to go to. And so I was working in a bakery in this old west town called Virginia City. It's amazing. It's like the St. Augustine, but for cowboys, basically.
Oh, cool.
And so the actors from this Wild West show used to come into the bakery every morning to get coffee, and they knew that I was studying film. And like within a couple months of them getting coffee and everything, they asked me to be in the show. They were like, come on by, see if you want to join the show. And it was so funny. It was a comedy stunt show. And right away I was like, yes, I absolutely want to do it. Didn't have to audition. They just put me right in.
I mean, hello.
And I was in it for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a seasonal show. So I decided to go back to Florida and study film in Orlando. And so every summer I would go out to Nevada, perform the show, come back to Florida, do some film stuff and film school and everything. And then that led to movies both on the West Coast and the East Coast. And I ended up going to New York at one point.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's talk about that. New York.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Uh-huh.
How was that?
New York was fun. It was a lot of fun. We were shooting a film that never happened.
That happens. That
happens a lot. But I was working on a pilot for a show called Little West 12th Street. That also never happened, but Kevin Brown from 30 Rock was in the show. And while I was working on these different projects, I was with a talk show with Madhouse TV called The Filmmaker Show. And I was a co-host for them, and then when I went back out to Nevada and California, I became like a West Coast correspondent, and that was a lot of fun. But we had Kevin Brown on the show at one point, and
oh, cool.
That was a good time. So being on a set is really, it's nice to be
It's
back.
really nice. You're feeling it. I love that. What brought you back?
It was school. I just kept going. Well, I love Florida too because I'm a surfer, and you know a lot of friends and family here. But I would just always bounce, like wherever anyone needed me. If I needed to be in New York, I'd go to New York. If I needed to be in LA or Nevada or wherever, I've been doing a lot of work in Georgia. I just it's like my home base, Florida. Yeah. But along with doing the Wild West show, I met the founders of the Central Florida Film Festival, who I work for now. And they had asked me at the time to be like a stage escort for the awards show.
Right.
But then Bob Cook, the founder of the festival, he eventually asked me to host. So in 2015, I was one of the hosts for Senflow.
Yeah.
And then I've been working for Senflow since, and I've become an event media coordinator for the Central Florida Film Festival. And so it's just always been like, I don't know. It's
bumping
just,
around, but
just
that's how it
bumping around
works.
all the time. Yeah.
I think that the mistake we made today was not having
a
baton or some gunslinging, because I want to learn.
Future project.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Now you currently just you did a Western.
Yeah.
Correct? It's like did you draw from your roots from that show to like to pull into this one?
Definitely.
Did you get to do some fancy work?
It's funny. I twirl like a tiny bit in the film, but it was really more backstage where I was, twirling and having a good time, and you can see that on my social media. But no, I play a bounty hunter in that film. We shot that out. Those guys who shot the film, Chandler Bali, he's from Atlanta, but they shot out in Texas because they had a really good connection with a film set. And so we filmed in July and August, and it was 105 in the day and 80s to 90s at night. And we filmed mainly at night, which was really nice. But my first day of shooting was in the day, and it was dreadful. So we just we're hydrating as much as we could, sitting in AC. But that is a feature film. It's called Death After Dusk, and it's got a really cool vibe to it. It's got a little bit of like a Quentin Tarantino vibe.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we're having our premiere in Atlanta this coming Sunday, so February 18th.
Nice. And you've won some awards, right?
I did. I won 2 awards for it.
Tell us what they are.
It's Best Actress at the International Gold Awards in New York, and then the London Movie Awards for Best Actress.
That's
as well.
amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks. I was pretty excited, and it's won a ton of other awards too. It won a lot in like Florence and Milan, New York. I can't. I'm blanking on the other ones, but
Listen, you do a lot of stuff. I was like, you also have another film that's actually out as well. That
I do. Everwinter Night,
right? Yeah.
And then that's going to be on Prime soon. We shot that out in New Hampshire in the middle of winter. It was really cold, but it set the tone for the film anyway. But it's a comedy horror film, and that won at the Central Florida Film Festival for Best Dramatic Feature. But it's a comedy horror film, so we weren't expecting like drama or anything. But yeah, so that's the thing. That's a great film. I play a crazy party girl in that. And
That's
you got to watch
amazing.
the rest of the film.
What's your goal as far as like acting? What role do you want to play? Is there any? Do you want to be in like a series? Do you want to be in like an epic film? Do you want to be the next superhero?
Oh God, all
What's
that,
a lot?
all
right?
that
all
sounds wonderful.
Super great.
Just maybe something a little more serious because people have put me in a lot of like the crazy party girl roles or westerns, which is fine. And the western, I mean, that was a bit more serious. So I don't know. I like having a surprise. And see where this career takes me of what characters I play.
I love that. And we're excited to see it. We're excited for you. I can't wait to see this film.
Same. Yeah.
And where can we find more information about you and what's next?
Go on to my Instagram. It's Alana_Phillips. That's mainly where I do any of my posts. I'm official Alana Phillips on Facebook, and Twitter is _Alana Phillips _. So
nice. Well, Alana, thank you for being here with us. We could talk for like 20 more minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Next time we'll make sure that we have some batons and stuff on stage.
I know, that'd be so fun.
I know.
We may have to produce like a behind the scenes thing, you teaching us how to do
I'm sure
baton
there's
twirling.
something on
Something.
this
We can find something.
Yeah.
But thank you. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I like your jewelry. If you would like to be a guest, have something to promote, or have your film featured on the show, visit our website, IndieCinemaShowcase.com. Watch past episodes and help support the show by buying some merch on our online store.
Follow us on our socials, Facebook at ICSTV and on Instagram and X at ICSTV Show. You can also reach out to us by emailing us at icstv@yahoo.com.
ICS Fun Fact. Unveiled in 1923, the iconic Hollywood sign was initially an advertisement for a local real estate development named Hollywood Land. Over time, the letters deteriorated and the last 4 letters were dropped, becoming just Hollywood. In 1970, after some more deterioration, a public campaign to restore the sign was started by singer Alice Cooper. The Hollywood Chamber set out to replace each letter and increase their size. In 1978, the new sign was unveiled during a live broadcast. Welcome back. Now it's time for our segment we like to call On Location with ICS. In this episode, we visit Fanboy Expo 2023 and speak with promoter assistant Joanna Bowman. The Fanboy Expo is one of the biggest and best comic and anime conventions in the U.S. It is usually held several times a year in different cities like the one here in Orlando, Florida. The multi-city pop culture convention caters to a diverse range of fans, geeks, and nerds. It covers entertainment genres like comic books, science fiction, cosplay, art, film, television, and wrestling. It also regularly hosts Q&A panels, autograph sessions, photo ops, and other fun activities visitors can enjoy. You can also buy exciting merchandise and food from hundreds of vendors on the showroom floor. Nando and I spent the day spending money, going to panels, and talking to some great vendors and celebrity guests.
All right, guys, so I'm here with Glenn Randall Jr. You guys in the Star Wars universe will recognize him because he is the stunt performer for one of our favorite Mandalorian, Boba Fett himself. Mr. Randall, pleasure to meet with you. Now, when you got into the business itself, did you ever think, it's like, did you know from the beginning that this is what you wanted to do, or was it something that just kind of grew on you?
No, I knew I wanted to be a stuntman. I mean, I had a desire to do that. I was good at it, but I didn't realize where that career was going to take me.
Right, and as we all know, it took you flying to the side of Jabba the Hutt's ship, and so I'm into it.
Well, it's strange because when we did Star Wars, to me at that point in time in my career, it was just another job, another film. The costume was just another costume. I mean, in the film industry, one day you're a Roman soldier, the next day you're an Indian, the next thing you're putting on a gorilla costume for Planet of the Apes. So Boba Fett costume was just another costume to me. So I had no idea the effect that it had on the viewing public.
I found a pretty tall cosplayer here. This is Darth May. Hey, thank you for stopping to talk to me.
Of course.
So tell us about this cosplay.
So initially the cosplay just started off as me buying a lightsaber. And this saber was just normal sized. Eventually it got longer. And then I wanted a nice, good costume to go with it. So I got the mask from the same company I bought the saber from. I cut the jaw off so I could,
Now, how are you enjoying Fanboy? Is this your first time?
This is my first Fanboy Expo, but I've been to other conventions. I'm having a blast. I like how on a Saturday, it's not as crowded as other conventions. I can move around easier. But I'm very happy with the number of guests, still the number of cosplayers, the people selling their merchandise. A lot of them seem to be more local, which I'm very happy about. And some of the celebrities, I couldn't believe were coming here. I was shocked.
So it's safe to say that you'll be back?
Of course I will.
Now, you guys have a lot of 3D prints. Like, on average, how long does it take to actually make some of these pieces?
They all vary. It depends if it's a single print, can be for like 6 to 8 hours. If it's something more complex like a helmet, it can be about 4 or 5 days. And it's something like that beer standing right there, that can take up to 3 weeks between the hand painting, printing, and everything.
Now, that is amazing. Like, if I were to go anywhere, I would never have guessed that that was actually a 3D printed item. And like, this looks something that you would just buy at any like store. Yes,
a lot of people come over here. They think they're ceramic pieces. They think that they're the Galactus over there is resin printed, hand painted by Mema. A lot of people think that they're the store versions, and they're not. We do everything in house: the printing, the hand painting, everything.
So what keeps you coming to events like Fanboy Expo?
We love the reaction from people from watching our stuff, from buying our stuff. And Fanboy Expo is our anniversary convention. Our very first show was a Fanboy Expo, and that's why the one that we want to go every time, because that's our anniversary in conventions.
So as you can see, there's lots to do in this 3-day event. At the end of the day, I finally got to talk with promoter assistant Joanna Bowman to learn more about the family-run event.
So let's talk about Fanboy Expo itself. How did this get started?
Well, Fanboy was started about 12 years ago. Our home base is in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's where we kind of started and grew our fan base. Right. And we have been to Florida a few years in the past. We've been to Tampa and Lakeland a few years ago. But we've kind of settled here in Orlando in the last 3 years. And we're really excited to see this con become as big as Knoxville is. So we're really excited to see it growing every year and seeing all the people come out and enjoy it. So
I mean, we might be just a little bit biased to Orlando.
Little bit.
What was it about Orlando that made you guys want to stay here?
You know, everyone is so wonderful and great, and everyone is so kind, and they just show up and are supportive of us. And we've had that in other cities, but there's just something about that Orlando. You know, there's just something about that Orange County everybody loves. So
I agree. Now, when it comes to Fanboy Expo, what can people expect when they come?
So we are a real family-based event. So there are other cons in the area. I know there's some biggies, but we're a more family-based. We're independently owned. So it's just the boss and us, our families help. You'll see that all of our family members are helping. And, you know, you're just going to get this wholesome feel, I think, here. And not to say you can't get those with bigger cons, but we feel like we put a personal touch on the con world.
Well, where can we find more information about Fanboy if they haven't been to this one and they want to maybe know about the next one?
Okay, so Fanboy Expo, you can find all the information you need on fanboyexpo.com. And we have several events. Our next event is the Anime Convention in Knoxville, Tennessee. Our Classic Summer Show will be in July 12th through the 14th in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we can't wait to announce the dates for next Orlando. So that'll be in the fall of 2024.
Yes, and before you go, because I know you're a busy woman,
of course,
I just personally want to thank you
for
putting something like this together and bringing something for everybody, where we can all fanboy and fangirl it out.
It's so fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
It's really fun. You can feel the energy and the cosplayers. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you guys for coming, and thank you for stopping by. And we can't wait to see everybody next year.
All right, check them out.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
For our final segment, we check out what films you should see before you die. For this week's film, we travel back to 1960 for the film Psycho, directed by the late, great Alfred Hitchcock. The film stars Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, Vera Miles, Martin Blasman, and John Gavin. Until 1960, Alfred Hitchcock was known as the master of suspense, but his brand of white-knuckle tension was reserved for thrillers and noir mood pieces. With Psycho, his adaptation of author Robert Bloch's popular novel of the same name, Hitchcock was a man on a mission. Responding to critics who said that he was past his prime, the defiant filmmaker wanted to scare the hell out of them. In turn, he also defined the modern horror film as we know it, and Psycho stabbed its way into the history books. Among its many first-rate elements, Psycho is notable for its brilliant sense of audience manipulation. At the time, Leigh was a big-time movie star, so killing her off early into the picture was an ingenious move once suggested by Hitchcock's wife. It's a tactic that set the standard used by subsequent horror directors like Wes Craven and John Carpenter, who had to find new ways to shock audiences. In 1992, the Library of Congress deemed the film culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant and selected it for preservation in the United States National Film Registry, and it is our choice for this week's film we think you should see before you die.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of ICS. We want to thank Alana Phillips for sitting down with us and Chris Ballinger for his great film.
Well, we hope you learned something new, saw something that you love, or got inspired to get off the couch and go make a movie of your own. Who knows? It might be good enough for us to screen on the next Indie Cinema Showcase.
And don't forget to follow us on our socials, Facebook at ICS TV, Instagram at ICS TV Show, and YouTube at Indie Cinema Showcase.
And if you want a chance to have your work, event, convention, or film festival featured on ICS, send us an email at icstv@yahoo.com.
Until then, the set is closed, and as they say in the film industry, that's a wrap.
See you next time.